Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over the Double Dog Dare Werewolf PVP build. This is a build that focuses on being in the middle, taking damage, and using all that damage that's coming in against your opponents. So let's take a look at the gear. So the gear we're using on this build is Mighty Chuden, Fury, Desert Rose. We're impenetrable on all of our pieces. Our big pieces are using that prismatic. Small pieces currently have stamina on them. But if you can afford it, go ahead and put all prismatic on everything. Jewelry, we have weapon damage glyphs and triune across the board. Primary weapon, we're just using a Nern-toned two-hander. If you want, you could use a Nern-toned single hand and a Nern-toned or a infused offhand, or sharpened or precise. You could run with that. If you want to be a little bit tankier, you can go sword and board on your werewolf transformation bar. But make sure if you're doing that, you run poisons. Our base health is 28,000 in CP environment, just shy of 20,000 magicka, and just a little bit over 40,000 stamina. The gear, Fury, gains weapon damage anytime you take damage. Desert Rose, get magicka back when you take damage, 15% chance. This has a very high potential to give you a huge amount of magicka back if you're staying in combat. We're doing the Mighty Chuden, give ourselves some tankiness to this build. That extra health also helps your heal out too. If you're rolling with a Warden, or anything else that can provide you your major resolve, you can go ahead and swap this set out for something else to give you a little bit more damage. So let's take a look at some of the class preferences as well as the race. As far as class preference, I would say go with Sorcerer. Sorcerer currently has the best passives for werewolf form. Between Unholy Knowledge, that will give you better sustain, as well as Persistence after you block an attack. Your next ability cost is decreased by 15%. Power Stone reduces your cost of your ultimate, makes it easier to get into werewolf form. Extra magicka recovery, extra physical damage, and then of course amplitude, which can give you up to 10% increased damage done against your enemies based on their health. As for race, I recommend Orc. You've got your extra stamina, your extra health, extra weapon damage, reduced sprint cost, and increased movement speed. Imperial would work, and if you want to go with something a little bit more tanky, Nord would also work. We're also going to be using 7 heavy on this build, so you're going to see some of these passives you have here kick in full effect when you're using all heavy. You're going to have a nice bonus to your physical and spell resistance. Constitution is going to spike up here, so you're getting 757 of both magicka and stamina every 4 seconds when you're taking damage. Kind of plays off this build that is daring people to attack you, because it's only going to make you stronger. Juggernaut is maxed out to get that 14% health bonus. It's gonna spike your heal. Revitalize, using that with your off balance perk and your werewolf perk to restore extra stamina on your heavy attack. All synergizes together very well. And of course rapid mending, which is going to increase your werewolf heal. One of the few ways you can increase your werewolf heal, as it's not scaling off your weapon damage, is only scaling off your max health or your healing received and healing done. This build also works in CP and no CP environments. And let's take a look at the skill morphs we're using on this build. We're going with Berserker, Feral Pounce, Hircine's Fortitude, Ferocious Roar. This build has a little bit of desire for stamina regeneration. So we're going to utilize that off-balance morph of this so we can heavy attack our opponents and get a chunk of stamina back. Currently running Howl of Agony. If you're going to be running with other werewolves or even in groups, you can go the other morph of this. And Claws of Anguish. Having that major and minor defile on your target can really add pressure. So I currently have a Ravage pot going on this guy just to show you how that weapon damage is ramping off of Fury. So in combat you're going to see how that kind of just keeps rolling up. It also has the major brutality effect on it, so we just get shy of 5k weapon damage with this setup. And she'll drop back down to just 4,000. A little over 4,000 weapon damage and start building back up. But you can see how fast it can build up even when you're taking damage every second. Critical resistance, try to keep that above 2600, especially in CVP environments. Spell resistance, you can see, is a little bit higher than physical resistance. Our staff enemies are going to have that extra penetration, so it's nice to have a little bit extra cushion there in the spell resistance department. Currently using the warrior, but you could easily switch to the lover. That will give you more damage while you're in werewolf form, as your heals don't necessarily scale off your weapon damage. I'd also recommend using the Bewitched Sugar Skulls to give you that larger magical pool, health pool, stamina pool, and also giving you that extra health recovery. If you have any questions about this build, feel free to comment down below. I will be playing some Battleground footage of this build in action so you can see how much pressure it can take and also what kind of damage it can do. Thanks for watching. Happy hunting.